You can see on the backside of this system, things are slowing down, but the leading edge where we have all of this wind that is continuing to push along with this cold front, getting into this very, very perfect scenario of high-end heat, high humidity, and now the lift with this cold front. We are going to see more storms. There's still that severe thunderstorm watch in effect for much of central and southeastern Iowa. Now, until 8 o'clock, we had this warning for a severe thunderstorm here just to the east and southeast of Des Moines and northeast of Des Moines, actually from Highway 30 back down to I-80. That is all moving down to the southeast. Iowa Falls up here has also that flash flood warning that's going on until 10:30 tonight. So what we want to deal with right now, though, is this tornado warning right into Des Moines, and we're going to just zoom in here really quick, show you that this is what we're talking about as far as the strongest thunderstorms within that line of the all red here from Des Moines back down into Pleasant Hill. Also, of course, on the north side from Urbandale back over into the Merle Hay Mall area. So this is going to be running straight into the downtown area. I know people are trying to get home right now. We have a lot of folks that have been letting us know that they've had a lot of wind damage, even a lot of power outages. But right in this spot, right here, this is where we're looking for that tornado. Rotation has been, again, the reason we've issued this tornado warning, but we've not had a report so far of the tornado on the ground. We reported a tornado in Des Moines Metro near the Windsor Heights area. Another warning in account for southward drift of that rotation as that boundary continues down to the south and the east. I'm just reading what the National Weather Service is giving us on our latest chat. So this is that tornado warning in this red outlined area and this new warning. Now it is a tornado that has been indicated, and you can hear on our phones and, of course, your phones going off as well. This is a tornado that has been now issued for the Polk County and Warren county areas, and that continues to move to the south and the east. It is now moving into northeastern Warren County and south for south central Iowa. It's also moving, again, very fast down to the south and the east. Jerry Ann, our phones are all going off. We're going to continue to be just like you at home. But that's what we want you to do. Keep your phones with you. Stay weather aware. And Jerry Ann, what do they have for that warning that's now on the ground?
Yeah, I'm going to read through everything here for you. If we could go to Max 2 real quick. That new tornado warning now just in effect. Is my microphone working okay? Okay. All right, there we go. And this is a tornado warning now in effect for parts of Polk and Warren County, and that's in effect until 6:15. Again, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Drake Stadium and Knapp Center, and it is moving through the city of Des Moines. It is moving to the south and east at a speed of around 35 miles per hour. Again, this tornado warning is in effect until 6:15. If you are in these areas, we want you to get to the lowest place you can get to in your home. We want you to be seeking shelter. I'm going to track this for you and give you some idea of where the rotation is located with this as well. But this is a particularly dangerous situation. It's been hot and humid all day long, and now we're starting to see some rotation potential here. We've also been seeing some extremely strong height with this storm, and it is located on the south side of Des Moines at this point. I'm going to go in closer just so you can see Drake Stadium there, so I can show you, because we did get some reports of it also producing a debris return with this, which is indicating the tornado on the ground and leading to damage as well. Now, earlier we had a report near Grimes of the tornado touching down, and then we had a report around Urbandale, and that was Merle Hay Road as well. And again, our latest report is at Drake Stadium here, and that's where we're continuing to see the strongest wind gusts. And that is where we're seeing the strongest radar returns as well. But a confirmed tornado, and that's why these pink boxes are located on our weather map. I know there's lots of colors on here right now, but I'm going to go through and take off the radar information so you can see if you're in this tornado warning. And again, that includes the city of Des Moines as well as Carlisle. And this storm is tracking off to the east-southeast. And lots of folks reporting some very strong wind gusts with with this, moving at a speed of around 30 miles per hour. So this is where we're seeing the strongest part of the storm, tracking to the south and east at 35 miles per hour, and that continues to allow Carlisle to be impacted here by around 6:17 p.m. So if you're in Carlisle and you can hear my voice, this thunderstorm that is producing a tornado over the city of Des Moines right now is moving off to the south and east towards you. Ed, you've got some new information?
Yeah, just new information. We'll go back over to Max 1, guys. Thank you very much. This is the wider view, and you're going to see, again, all of these warnings. These are the yellow boxes we've been talking about all day. Again, lots of severe weather, but the warning that we have now is just right into central Iowa. This is that tornado warning in effect for Polk County and then back down into Warren County. And as I zoom in here, you're going to see that pink outline. That means that we do have a warning for a tornado that's been spotted on the ground. And you can see right over Highway 69, this is moving back down toward Indianola. That's where we're finding that inflow-outflow. So where we do have that green to the red, that's where we're finding that rotation of that tornado that has been spotted on the ground. Now, when we talked about just a second ago, a debris ball, that means that the radar is picking up debris from that tornado off the ground. It's lifting it up. So it could be anything from dirt to, again, portions of buildings, any type of solid resistance for our radar, something our radar is going to see very, very well. That's what we've seen just beyond this, right back into that bright area as well. So that's not the debris ball here, but that's where that's moving. I want everybody that's in that Indianola area. Highway 69 is a very, very heavily trafficked area this time of the day. We're just starting off our week. A lot of people traveling, trying to get back down to their homes, and that's where this line is going to quickly move through. You can see behind it, we still have a lot of open air, and this is going to be much better conditions for us throughout the overnight into tomorrow. But for the moment, a tornado warning for Polk County, Warren County. You can see Carlisle's included in that, and that is all moving to the south and to the east. Jerry Ann?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just
That's fine.
Our production crew if they could check some of our cameras for us, because we are getting reports of the tornado, large destructive tornado around the Iowa Event Center as well. So yeah. I did want to just check some of our cameras.
That's
here
our Adventureland camera. I'm moving there right there for you. You can see Adventureland is just completely inundated with all of that rain, heavy thunderstorm action, and you can see even into the downtown. I'll show you our camera from our view at Principal Park. When I find it here in just a second, we're going to see all of these storms really wrapping up and pushing down to the south and east, but this is going to be an amazing time lapse. This is what it looks like now down in Des Moines. You can see that clearing sky for the moment, and it continues to move this system down to the south and the east. I will just, for a second, move this camera around just a little bit, show you there's the Des Moines River, and then as we go over toward the Capitol on the other side of the Des Moines River and down to the south and the east, that's where we're really finding the brunt of this storm, and that tornado has been sighted there on the ground. So make sure that you are seeking shelter here from the Warren County, Des Moines, or Polk County area, from Des Moines all the way back down into that area south and east of us. So this is,
Ed, I'm getting some good, bad news here. The National Weather Service has changed the tornado warning from confirmed tornado now to radar indicated. But a lot of that has to do because of the heavy rainfall coming down right now. It's very difficult to see. But I've been looking through a lot of the rotation potential with this storm, and it does indicate as if it is starting to weaken somewhat. However, I still wouldn't let up my plans to seek shelter here. This is just south of the Des Moines metro area right now. Near Pleasant Hill is where the strongest storm is located, and it's headed right forward near Highway 65, would be right around the Carlisle area. So I'm going to track this for you. But at this point, it has changed to a radar indicated tornado versus a confirmed on-the-ground tornado. So that's some good language. I'm going to read it through for you. And this tornado warning remains in effect until 6:15. Again, it is 5:55 in the afternoon. Southeastern Polk and northwestern Warren counties are in this tornado warning. It is located over the city of Des Moines right now. It is just south of I-80, and it is moving southeast at a speed of around 35 miles per hour. Again, we've been getting reports of power outages with this, some very heavy rainfall that makes it difficult to see, and obviously some rotation as well. And earlier with this actual tornado, we did see some debris as well. So we have crews out checking conditions around the Iowa Event Center as well as Drake areas where we did see the strongest part of the storm. But in this tornado warning right now is the areas outlined in red, and it's not necessarily the city of Des Moines, it's on the south side of Des Moines at this point. And again, in this is also the Carlisle area. Is this strong to severe thunderstorm is our strongest storm moving through in a very highly populated area at the worst time possible. We've been telling you all day, if you do have outdoor events, we wanted you to move them inside and be prepared for the changing weather conditions. And we targeted right around 5, 6, 7 o'clock for these strong to severe thunderstorms moving through. Heavy rainfall hitting Mitchellville right now, Colfax area. All of these areas in the yellow box remain under a severe thunderstorm warning as well. And that is the strongest storm at this point. That said, we do have some very strong winds associated with it in between Stewart and Creston as well. Another strong to severe thunderstorm warning north of the Red Oak area. These red boxes you're seeing on the computer right now around Iowa Falls is because of flash flooding. We saw 2 to 3 inches of rainfall in a very short period of time as well. Let's go back to the tornado warning. I know Ed Wilson probably has some new information here on this.
As well, Jerry. Let's go back over to Max 1, guys. Thank you. And this is our view from Principal Park. You can see now this has moved past our downtown view. This is looking straight to the south. That's the Des Moines River. And of course, we did see some very, very gusty wind along with this. About 4,000 people are without power in the metro, and that's primarily in the Urbandale area. So this is from our Eventual End camera, looking again right into the teeth of that storm as it's moving across that I-80 corridor. So that tornado warning that is now shifted down to the south and to the east in effect until 6:15. And I'm going to zoom back in here and show you where we are finding maybe a little bit of rotation between Carlisle back up to the north. Now, earlier, as Jerry Ann said, this was a confirmed tornado on the ground, but now this is radar indicated, and this is the only knots that I've found within this area just around Carlisle. You folks in Carlisle need to be seeking shelter as well down in Indianola onto Hartford, and this is a storm line that is not just with this tornado, but it's going to create a lot of wind. We've seen the damage today from the wind and also some very large scale hail back over into the area around Carroll, up to about tennis ball size hail. I'm sure we'll have more reports of this, but this whole system continues to press down to the south and the east. So again, this is the earlier view from our winds and just not seeing much there. You can see the clearing skies behind it, but this guy continues to press out of that severe thunderstorm line, all of that flash flooding from that Eldora area back over into Grundy County, then on the east side of Grundy County, Waterloo towards Cedar Rapids. They have their own tornadoes on that wider view, and we now have a couple of new severe thunderstorm warnings that will be moving out of that southwestern corner of the state. So on this wider view, Jerry Ann, you can see we're along that cold front. We've been talking about this throughout the last couple of days of how this is going to be the trigger for severe weather, but then much cooler, drier air. And you can see already we're clearing out to the north. It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow, but for now, make sure you're seeking shelter. And if you're driving home or you know somebody that is, make sure that you give them extra time, but maybe give them a shot on the phone. Make sure they're okay.
Reports now that the strongest part of the storm is located around the South Ridge Mall area. So we're going to go in closer here to show you that area of concern. But again, from what I can see on radar, it looks like around Carlisle, that is definitely where I would be seeking shelter. Carlisle, the Hartford area, all in this tornado warning. Now, this is the latest on the tornado warning, and this was just issued right before the top of the hour here. And this is just saying, hey, it's still radar indicated at this point right now. It's in effect until 6:15, and the strongest part of the storm producing the tornado was located over South Ridge Mall, as I mentioned, and that thunderstorm warning has now lifted surrounding it as well. This storm just spun up rapidly, unfortunately, creating some damage in parts of Des Moines. And now all the heavy rainfall is tracking off to the east. Again, a very strong gust front is pushing through as well. We've been seeing reports of some power outages associated with this. But I do want to show you the wider view here because we have that tornado warning in effect on the south side of Des Moines at this point, and areas along I-80 between Des Moines and Newton continue to show very heavy rainfall and again some strong winds as this advances off to the east-southeast. Grinnell experiencing a very strong thunderstorm at this point. We've been seeing really strong thunderstorms around Cedar Rapids, and again flash flood warnings still in effect for parts of northern Iowa as well.
And you're just watching WHO 13 here in Des Moines, Iowa. We're at the top of our hour. We have that new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued outside of the tornado warning. So you can see that red spot there, that red outlined area. That's where we have just south of Des Moines, that tornado warning that will continue as we go through the rest of the next 15 minutes or so, back down, in fact, up until 6:30 or so. But more warnings are expected tonight, and this is along this line that is extending back down to the south and west of us. So a tornado warning in effect until 6:15, hail up to 1 inch in diameter, and that's the area that we were also just spotting here with Jerry Ann on her computer as we were coming out of Carlisle. So I'm going to put the scope back here on this wind, and you can see the outline where we have that green to red, but I really feel like that's shifting farther toward Hartford, so you need to be seeking shelter there from Warren County, southern Polk County, right down to the south and east of our metro. That's where we have that strong to severe thunderstorm line, and this is the new severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for this wider area, including Newton, all the way down to the south until 7 o'clock. And we are, again, getting just some reports of widespread damage in the tree damage in the Beaverdale area. There's that wider view there with that severe thunderstorm warning. All of the counties included within this one: Mahaska, Marion, Marshall, Polk, Poweshiek, Tama, and Warren County. Again, that's inch in diameter hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind possibilities there. Make sure that you are seeking shelter. Make sure that you are catching all those folks as well that might be out and about, and if they are not listening. So near Simon's Restaurant, which is up in the Beaverdale area on Merle Hay Road, there's quite a bit of damage there, of tree damage we've heard. Lots of power outages, up to 4,000 folks without power. And you can see already folks are out there with their equipment trying to move some things. It looks like maybe some private individuals might have a chainsaw or two in the neighborhood, but they are trying to pick up and clear this off. And this is right around, Paul, is that right? The Simon's Restaurant right at Merle Hay? Yeah. Outage is now up to 11,000. This is from our car camera, and I believe this is looks like a White Hood there. It looks like that might be Kobe Gaines and also Elias Johnson. They were out storm spotting earlier in the Urbandale area, and that's where we had the first power outages, but now we're up to 11,000. Let's get back to our Max 1. There we are, and this is that new severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 7 o'clock. You can see the outline, these very strong winds moving through, a little bit of a notch there possible. I'm not saying that there is a tornado there at the moment. We'll take a moment again to maybe zoom in there, but it is giving us that kind of structure, look very kind of jagged edge as it moves through. The tornado warning still in effect until 6:15, so we have about another 12 minutes or so. That's just south of Des Moines, moving into Warren County. It was earlier Polk County, but now has been pushed down to the south. And by the way, these darker red outlines are not tornado warnings. That is flash flooding going on back up near Iowa Falls, over toward Waterloo, into that area of eastern Iowa. Outside of our viewing area, lots of, again, checkerboard severe thunderstorm warnings and also another tornado warning out to the east of us. But we're most concerned with our folks right here in downtown areas of the metro, and that severe thunderstorm warning has been just popping there right along that area where Carlisle, I think that was, again, the wind that I'm showing you there, that is from the previous run. So that's going to be not where we're finding all of those, Jerry, and those winds that are just giving us tornado warnings there. Thank goodness.
And that tornado warning is in a smaller box right now as well. So I want to go through, if you're in this area right now in between Carlisle, the Hartford area, that's the area of concern for the very strong winds. And this is where we're continuing to see a rotation potential. And just to the east of that would be the Runnels area, and that's where we're seeing the heavy rainfall. But again, these storms had a history of producing not only strong winds, but some hail and heavy rainfall. And all of that right now is tracking right along I-80 in between Des Moines, Newton, the Grinnell area. You can see things have calmed down to the north and west right now. A few thunderstorms popping up now in southwest Iowa associated with this frontal boundary passing through. Plenty of heat and humidity throughout the day today, and that just grew our instability across the state. And as this front approaches, we are seeing all the ingredients for some strong to severe thunderstorms. The strongest storm right now is located right here, and even everything I'm seeing on the radar is indicating less and less rotation, but some really strong winds moving in the same direction, and that is right around Highway 5 in between the Carlisle and the Hartford area. And I'm going to put a track on this for you just so you can have some indication of exactly where this will be moving here over the next 30 minutes. So it is tracking to the southeast at a speed of around 35 miles per hour. And you can see Pleasantville will be impacted by this strong to severe thunderstorm by around 6:25. And also Knoxville by 6:52, the Melcher, Dallas area around 7 p.m. If you're in outdoor plans or have outdoor plans in those communities, please adjust. Those areas already in a severe thunderstorm warning because of the strong thunderstorm moving right along I-80.
And back to, if we can go back to Max 1 real quick, guys, we do have that tornado warning. This is that small box that Jerry Ann was just talking about. But on a wider view, we now have these extra thunderstorm warnings down in southwestern Iowa. Also a tornado warning with that particular storm that's just down in that southeastern corner of the state. We are going to see, I think, a good chance maybe for a few more of these isolated cells to kind of connect the dots, if you will, back up into that central portion of the state. That tornado warning for Montgomery County, just outside of our viewing area, but it again is moving. It's radar indicated. It is moving down to the south and the east at about 30 miles per hour. Just let you know, this is going to be a severe thunderstorm watch that's in place for most of central and southern Iowa. That will continue until 11 o'clock tonight. And on this wider scale, you can see that storm line with that tornado warning just south of Des Moines in effect until 6:15 for that particular cell. This little spot here, but look how widespread these storms are just here in the center portion of the state. Out to the outside in the northwestern Iowa, you guys are in the clear. Down to the south and east, you guys are really on deck. These are going to be the storms that are going to move your way, and then I think primarily kind of push back over into the eastern portion of the state. This again is a live view from our downtown camera. This is Principal Park, and then I'm going to take you out to Adventureland. They are seeing, as we move this camera around a little bit, there's the downtown area looking to the east, some clearing skies, kind of southeast, but look at these storms. These are heavy, big-time storms that are going to continue to move down to the south and east of us. Elias Johnson out at that tree damage that we showed you earlier in our storm chaser car, and Elias, I think you can hear me?
Yeah, Ed, we got you.
And it looks like, are there crews out there already?
We got you. We're right here on Merle Hay Road. No, these are all just neighbors. These are literally, Ed, people. I'll zoom in here. These are just neighbors coming out here, putting straps up on the limbs of these trees and pulling them off the street, Merle Hay Road, with their cars so people can get through. We beat the fire emergency crews here ourselves, and we've seen a few of them drive by, but it doesn't look like anybody's been hurt. But there's certainly a number of people out here just trying to clear the road so that people can get home tonight. In fact, one of the more telling things as we zoom up here, I mean, there's tree branches still hanging from the power lines here. So if there's any indication why there's no power, there's one of them right there here in this Beaverdale area with just so many people just trying to clear the roadways now. Obviously rush hour. People are starting to try to get through. But it's a mess. But it's a sea of humanity. These are just neighbors, Ed, coming out here and getting their trucks out and pulling these limbs off the road.
Yeah, and we're just we're watching it as well here, Elias, and let you know that that tornado that was spotted there in that area just south of you folks, that's where they actually saw it on the ground. But just looking at the damage there, that was a radar indicated tornado there that was just then transitioning into a tornado that was actually spotted just near Drake Stadium. With all those folks down the street, that's a great, heavily trafficked area as well. People trying to get home, lots of hazard flashers on the cars and trucks as they're trying to get through. So plan for some extra time. And Jerry Ann, you were just talking now the tornado warning that we have is just for the Warren County area. And it's actually outside of the severe thunderstorm warning that you're seeing to the north and or to the east of that area.
Yeah, I've been seeing some reports, Ed, of some telephone lines snapped in half as well. Just gives you some idea of just how strong these thunderstorms are. I'm going to take you to Max 2 here and go through all the tornado warnings and thunderstorm warnings still in effect. We have one in effect in central Iowa, and that's for Warren County right now. This is the area of concern. This is where we have the strongest wind gusts located, and that's in between Red Oak, Creston area. None of these communities are under necessarily a thunderstorm warning, but you're starting to probably notice the wind gusts. And this is what's left of the tornado warning for Warren County, and that's in effect until 6:15. And again, we did have a reported tornado on the ground in the city of Des Moines. We're starting to see some wind damage from that. But I can tell you what I'm seeing on radar right now is indicating some very strong winds in between Newton and Knoxville. We're talking some 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts, which can definitely lead to some damage as well. These communities are under a severe thunderstorm warning until 7 p.m. This includes Jasper, Mahaska, Marion, Marshall, Polk, as well as Poweshiek, Tama, and Warren County. If you're in this yellow box right now, Montezuma area, Newton, Knoxville, this is where I want you seeking shelter as well. This is where we saw some heavy rainfall earlier today. About 2 to 3 inches fell in less than an hour, and that's leading to some flash flooding concerns. I do want to stress the strongest storms are starting to move out of the Des Moines metro area, but right on the Polk border there on the eastern part and southern part of Polk County moving into Warren County. And eastern Iowa is where all the thunder and lightning is located. These storms are coming through with quite a punch. There's still a target for eastern Iowa. I do think as this frontal boundary continues to move off to the east, we will see some stronger storms in eastern Iowa. There is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 11 p.m. for a good part of the state. This is what we think radar will look like at 7 p.m. Again, strong to severe thunderstorms in between Grinnell, Ottumwa, near Iowa City, and Dubuque, but things calming down across central Iowa here by 10 p.m. And by early tomorrow morning, we will start off with some sunshine, and it will be noticeably cooler. I do need to show you these temperatures because this gives you some idea. If you're in northern Iowa right now, you're not going to see any more strong to severe thunderstorms. But in southern Iowa, notice Centerville, 91 degrees, and the dew points are extremely high across the state. It still feels like 100 in Knoxville, as well as 105 around the Centerville area. We have that heat advisory still in effect as well until 8 p.m., but I do think that cool front will continue to cool us down. Ed Wilson has the latest on that tornado warning that is about to expire here in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, thank goodness. This is looking from the south of downtown. This is our principal park camera, and I'm going to take you quickly back out to our storm chaser camera. This is on the dash of our WHO 13 car. That's where Elias Johnson and Colby Gaines just got out of their car a minute ago to go talk to some of these folks. And I'm pretty sure they can't hear me right now, but they're out gathering some video. You can see this lady actually using, looks like a snow shovel, snow pusher there to kind of move the debris off of Merle Hay to try to get away get it away from the traffic that's trying to move through. And it looks like some pretty large limbs that are down. Obviously, I'm just giving maybe a guesstimate here, maybe about a 6-inch diameter limb that's right there. There's Elias moving down to talk to those folks, but that is a lot of damage. It's going to take a while to clean up. Power poles knocked down. Another view from Adventureland. This is where you see downtown. This is the little pop-up here of our downtown, and now down to the south and to the east. These strong thunderstorms are moving out, but they are on their way to southeastern Iowa. So you folks southeast of Des Moines, please consider seeking shelter now. A tornado warning still in effect for about another maybe half a minute for Warren County. That's that bright red. But that's where we're finding, again, that tornado warning that will be allowed, I think, to be canceled a little bit, maybe of a notch there around Hartford, just as I speak. That's where that tornado warning now has moved on. The severe thunderstorm outline is in this bright yellow from Des Moines to Knoxville, Pella as well, back over to Newton. You guys need to be seeking shelter. These are strong thunderstorms that have produced 70-mile-per-hour wind and also up to 2-inch diameter hail earlier today. I don't think that's going to be maybe as strong, but we still have a lot of heat to use up. We don't have the cooling of the day in here yet. This is along that cold front, so make sure that you are ready to stay weather aware. There's the outline for this warning in our area, our viewing area, at until 7 o'clock for Jasper, Mahaska, Marion, Marshall, Polk, Poweshiek, Tama, and Warren counties, that all moving to the south and the east. That's the polygon. When you see the stretch from the smaller area to the wider area, that's the direction that it's moving, and that is all down to the south and to the east, but at a pretty decent clip, now up to about 40 miles per hour. On a wider view, excuse me, we are going to see these stronger thunderstorms lining up right along I-80. You folks in Oskaloosa, be ready. This may be extending as that warning gets closer to you. They may push that warning a little bit farther down into your area. Cedar Rapids, Dubuque, eastern Iowa really getting hammered as well. There's one lone cell that's down to the southwest of us, and that's in Montgomery County, where they still have a tornado warning in that outlined area. It's outside of our viewing area, but I am considering that maybe we could see a few more of these storms getting together before we lose the heating of the day. There's, again, the watch that's in place for most of central and southern Iowa, eastern Iowa, until about 11 o'clock tonight. And that, again, flash flooding still going on to the north, even though the rain has ended. But that's up in Hardin, Grundy County areas where they have seen a lot of rain, up to 2.5, 3 inches of rain. We had reports, too, of about 11,000 people without power in the metro. A lot of that in the Urbandale area where this whole tornado warning started, right around Merle Hay, and then moving down into the downtown area, right over Drake, and then extending down to the south and the east. Jerry Ann, a busy afternoon. We expected these storms, but again, this year, it seems like we're just in the sweet spot for tornadoes.
Yeah, unfortunately so. And I'm going to take you over to Max 2 here and go through some of the damage reports coming in. Lots of damage around Glendale Cemetery, and that's near the entrance of Waveland. Trees down behind Waveland Cafe. Polk Boulevard being reported as covered in trees. Lots of damage being reported around University Avenue, 63rd and 42nd Street. We also just got a message from Megan Salwa. She's in Urbandale. She said a viewer let her know that there's lots of power lines down. So please stay put. We do not want you out and checking out the damage right now. The strongest part of the storm has moved through the Des Moines metro area. It is now located in southeast Iowa. I'm going to show you here where the warnings are in effect right now and go through these for you. But I'm going to finish reading this message from Megan just saying Urbandale has power lines down. Hy-Vee on 86th Street in Douglas. In the Dollar Tree area, there's power out. Many traffic signs are not working as a result of this as well. So let's go through what's still in effect across the state. And this is a strong to severe thunderstorm right now in between Newton, Knoxville, Montezuma. And this is where we have the strongest winds located, heavy rainfall, and even the potential for some hail. So in this severe thunderstorm warning until 7 p.m. is Jasper, Mahaska, Marion, Marshall, Polk, Poweshiek, Tama, and Warren County. If you do have any pictures of some damage that you want to let share with folks, just so we can give them some idea of just how strong the storm is, you can go ahead and email us here at the station. That flash flood warning is in effect still for northern Iowa in between Williams, Iowa Falls area. This is where we saw 2 to 3 inches of rainfall in a short period of time. The strongest part of the storm right now is located in between Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, and getting closer to Oskaloosa. And I mentioned just a little bit earlier in the newscast just how much heat and humidity is sitting in southeast Iowa. This is indicating all the thunder and lightning, a gust front pushing through around the Creston area. Again, there is still a target for more strong to severe thunderstorms around Dubuque and Davenport over the next couple of hours. And we have that severe thunderstorm watch, which includes the metro area here until 11 p.m. This is where we think the storms will be within the hour, and it does look like things will be calming down in central Iowa by 10 p.m. And looking ahead to tomorrow, we are seeing some sunshine breakthrough, and it will not be as hot or as humid tomorrow. And it's not going to be as stormy tomorrow. But right now, we do have some very strong to severe thunderstorms moving through, and that's why we're keeping you on radar to keep you updated. This is just showing the heat indices across the state. You can see where the storms have hit and where it's still extremely steamy. And there is a concern around Centerville as well as Ottumwa where it still feels much warmer. So because of that, there's that heat advisory in effect as well. But a cool down is coming with some drier days ahead.
Good to get that forecast in as well, because of course we're staying on the air right now through our 6 o'clock newscast. We do have a couple of car cameras. We'll get to that in a second. I've moved our Adventureland camera down to the south of Adventureland. You can see that's the Adventureland Bay, but that's where we have that stronger line of thunderstorms. You can see it's kind of pushing right to the south and to the east of the Des Moines Metro. You folks in that Oskaloosa area, even from around Pella, Knoxville, this is all moving your way. You can see this broad line of strong thunderstorms and all of this severe thunderstorm warning line. It's really a big segment of our southeastern corner of the metro. That will continue. I'll get to that in a second. But also remember, there's flash flooding up to the north. This is right along Highway 20, Fort Dodge, and then right toward Hardin County, back over toward Eldora, even into Grundy County. The western edge of Grundy County did see some flooding there as well, so 2 to 3 inches of rain. Thankfully, the tornado warning is no longer in effect. You can see some clearing going on just to the south of Des Moines. But as this storm system presses down to the south and the east, you folks in Montezuma, south of Newton, Knoxville, Pella, right along Lake Red Rock, that's where we're going to see some very heavy rain for sure, but also gusty wind. Up to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible. Larger hail up to about 1 inch in diameter. Not quite as large as what we've seen so far. The reports anyway, not reporting that 2-inch diameter hail that we saw earlier. But you can see that severe thunderstorm warning in that broader outline until 7 o'clock for Jasper, Mahaska, Marion, portions of Marshall County, Polk County, very southeastern, very small edge of Polk County, and then Tama down into Warren County. And all of that now is shifting fast down to the south and to the east as it really picks up speed. This cold front will continue to press through, and as I said, and Jerry Ann as well, this is going to be some wonderful relief for us. We're seeing much less precip falling here in the central Iowa area. That severe thunderstorm warning, I'm going to get it back out to this wider view. You can see that now we're just sitting in this area with that heavy pool of high humidity, very warm temperatures. That's where we're going to see the trigger mechanism for this severe thunderstorm line that pushes down to the south and to the east. So we're about 6:22 into our newscast. I'm going to take you back out to one of our cars. Can we go to Roger's car? I'm not sure exactly where he is, but you can see that he's been moving through some of the area right around Drake. This is where we've had some reports of some limb damage, but also where we had that tornado warning that was turned over to a confirmed tornado. So right above Drake, and they had one earlier this season right over Drake. Who hasn't had some sort of severe weather, but just in that same location, it looks like he's coming up on University and 42nd Street. So again, with a lot of commuting going on, make sure you take a little extra time, but things are certainly slowing down there. And then back over to our Urbandale camera, back up near Merle Hay, I believe it's Urbandale. That's where we have these lines of trees that have been knocked down. This is where Elias Johnson and Kobe Gaines are gathering some of the information, but you can see how big that one particular limb to the lower left-hand side of your screen, that has to be about a 6-inch diameter limb. Lots of power lines kind of sagging there. Many people without power. Earlier we heard about 11,000 people in the metro without power, so this is going to take us a little while to get all picked back up and put back to normal, even into the overnight tonight. And of course, it's still warm here, so without air conditioning, think about those folks that are going to have to deal with that. We are going to see a big break in those temperatures, but not for a while, not until we get into tomorrow morning, really, where we'll find this cold front moving all the way through. Jerry Ann, any extra info over there that you have?
Yeah, unfortunately, I am seeing some more damage reports coming out just south of the Roosevelt High School. So glad that they called off that game there because of the strong to severe thunderstorms moving through. This is just seeing some damage reports due to some large trees and a house damage around Roosevelt High School in Des Moines. Also coming in, some 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts out of parts of eastern Iowa. Now, we haven't seen the winds being reported that strong across parts of central Iowa just yet. Our strongest winds have been located in eastern Iowa. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect. I'm going to go through this for you, and that's in effect until 7:30. It is now 6:25. Once we get to 6:30, we're going to take you back to Wheel of Fortune, and we will break in when it warrants at this point. But we're on air right now because of these severe thunderstorms moving through the state and unfortunately leading to some damage. All right, I'm going to read through this because this happened around 6:25. The line was near the Brooklyn area and close to New Sharon and also the Knoxville airport, which we've been telling you about. This storm is tracking off to the southeast at 65 miles per hour against some 70 mile per hour wind gust potential, as well as some quarter-size hail. I did see a report near Monroe of some hail with this stronger storm as well, and I'm going to put a track on this as well because you can distinctly see this line here, and it is now south of Montezuma, but getting closer to Oskaloosa and tracking off to the south and east at a speed of around 35 miles per hour. So these aren't moving fast, but it's headed right for Oskaloosa here at 6:33, and then it's headed for Ottumwa by around 7:15, 7:20.
Yeah. I'm just listening again to our control room. We're going to take you from this out to Roger Riley's car, and you can see that there's a lot of debris that's down in the trees here. And Paul, where is this again? Oh, yeah, 42nd near Roosevelt. You can see that he is progressing slowly as he's been out storm chasing today. It has been a lot of down debris. He's been trying to check out this area near Roosevelt where Jerry Ann did say that we've had some damage reports as well from the National Weather Service. Larger limbs down, maybe some damage to some of the homes. And look at those folks. That's right along the boulevard there where they're just stacking up that tree debris, trying to get it out of the way so that people can get out there. These are not, city or folks from Mid-American. These are just neighbors that are trying to help each other. Again, always remember, stay away from down power lines. They could still be active even though you're without power. Make sure that you are doing this as safely as possible. We'll take you also, I don't know who's in DeGero 1, Paul. Maybe you can tell me where that is. Is that the same area? Oh, that is, okay. Gotcha. So we have Elias out near Merle Hay. We have Roger that you're looking at right now. And that's, again, Merle Hay, where we've had Elias out even talking to some of these neighbors that were trying to pull this limb damage out of the way of folks who are trying to get home. Lots of power outages, upwards of about 10,000 power outages so far that we've heard of within the last hour. Let me take you back to Max 1, and I'll take you past the last hour or so. You can see how quickly this thing is moving down to the south and the east, but there's still a big potential for severe weather from Knoxville to Oskaloosa. We have these new outlines of severe thunderstorm warnings there. This one for Knoxville until 7 o'clock. That will be in effect here throughout the next half hour or so. And then we are going to see another one that's been just put into effect for Wapello, Mahaska, Marion, Monroe, Poweshiek, and Jasper counties. That includes the Ottumwa area, Oskaloosa, and where you see this changeover, that goes outside of our viewing area. That goes back over into the Quad Cities National Weather Services area. So they're going to be warning more of those storms for you. Thank you for staying with us throughout our 6 o'clock hour. If you do have pictures, send them to our photo link at WHO13.com. Stay safe tonight. We'll give you updates, of course, at 10.